Good evening, everybody. What's up? I'm in London, as some of y'all know, and this is the weekly Outlook video. It's usually I shoot this around 3 p.m. in the U.S., but it's like the market's open in 30 minutes, and it's almost 10 o'clock here. So usually I send out some signals in Asian session, but I think there's one setup I really like. I'm gonna go over that here in a minute. But most of the action's gonna be tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday for sure. Turnaround Tuesday is always big, and especially because we have Thanksgiving on Thursday, and the banks will be closed, and Friday is kind of a dead day. But you never know. That's when somebody can sneak in and put a massive buy-in or a massive sell and really push the market around. I have a special guest today. Yasser from Yasser from the group. Y'all know as Bull Cat. I've had an amazing trip here. Everybody's been so receptive and showing me around. We did our meetup group yesterday. Thanks to everybody who came. You guys know you were like, man, I had this whole plan for yesterday, and none of it happened. And it turned out way better than I dreamed it could have. So very chill, very laid back. Thanks for everybody that came and participated and showed up. It was awesome, man. I can't say how grateful I am for, I shoot these videos and I send out these charts. I really make the training and try to help you all, but I don't really know the impact I might be having or, the interaction until I come over and meet everybody. So it's a super great experience for me. And thanks for all the support. That's all I can say. So that being said, I think we have some good setups for the week coming up that we've been here analyzing stuff together. It's been pretty cool. And and one more thing, if this is your first time meeting me, thanks so much for watching this video. Click on links anywhere in the bio or in my YouTube channel to get started. It can be life-changing if you put the effort in. Definitely, I can tell you that much. Has it been for you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So I'm going to look over UJ, S&P 500, of course. I know y'all are sick of me talking about it, but if we can really nail this, it'll be the trade of the year for sure. And UJ, dollar Swiss, shout out to Robbie from the group for pointing that out to me yesterday. Great job, man. And we're going to look at dollar NOK. Yeah. Cool. So let's share my screen here, pull up the charts, and let's see. Here we go. So I have it on dollar yen. I really like this setup. Specifically, I mean, it couldn't be more, especially the technical analysis that we do. This couldn't be more cut and dry. I could go into more detail on it. We can look at a weekly chart here. And we have this beautiful, nice triangle pattern, that we like this play for sure. And then so we have different levels inside the triangle. And I'd encourage you all to pull up USD/JPY and to section off this textbook triangle pattern. Okay. And so the thing is, the S&P 500 continues to rally. There's typically a direct correlation between the two, but when S&P 500, when equities and stocks and risk assets are strong, you would see a lot more weakness in the yen than, we haven't really seen any rise here. So we have different moves inside of this that I'm just seeing now, different zones, if you would say. And if you've been through my training, I talk a lot about kind of zoning off your trades. And here we are. That's the weekly. Let's see. This is what I was looking at from this. That was the flash crash of last year. So this is a significant level where we should have a trend line. And look where we are here, right? So we have this move down. I know it's a little confusing because the trend lines are crossing over each other, but you can see we have this line of resistance. We have this trend line that goes way back, and this is on a weekly chart, right? So from here to there, to there. Take it to a daily. We're respecting this level pretty well, which, you know, I mark that as very significant because of the flash crash. If y'all remember that, you remember that from last year?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, hard to forget. That was crazy. And so we had this breakdown, right? So I can take away this line. I can take away this line, and we can just look at it on the basis of, boy, it just looks like a trend line break to me. You know what I mean? And we can go 4-hour trend line break, and we're consolidating here before potential, you know, if we're consolidating below this trend, I think the risk lower is more likely than the other way around. You know, you could set it right here where we're just consolidating right in the middle. That's a little up in the air. But originally, this is what the more established trend was, I would argue. And of course, then we have this nice little X marks the spot, right? We're consolidating in this little nexus here. And I think the risk for a move lower, I like it to the downside. And also in the terms of correlation is that, hey man, we're not moving any higher, but everything else in terms of the S&P 500 is. So what's the deal? I guess what that means is that, and there's a lot of investors out there that aren't completely bought on how far the S&P is going to go, and that, you know, they're still holding a lot of yen, right? I mean, how would you?
Same way. I mean, I think the S&P is going up, and there's just optimism that there's going to be a deal, but this UJ is not moving at all.
Right.
So, you know, there's something wrong, or something going on I don't know about.
Yeah.
You know, and
well, yeah, for sure.
you know, we definitely don't know about, and you know, it's like actually then it's looking a bit more fishy.
Yeah.
You know, so instead of going up, I think I'd be short.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and that being said too, man, we've been trading off this level for weeks now. And originally I had this like demand zone sectioned off. Let's see, where's my box? Right there, where we keep getting knocked out, right? We keep trying to break that, and we get rejected. And I mean, look at that, those rejection wicks at the top. Yeah. So I like dollar yen, at least gives the case for potential dollar weakness. But the thing is, I mean, there's a lot up in the air right now. We have Euro USD apparently breaking down. It's a good segue into that. I shared that chart with you all. Euro USD, you know, I mean, we've been in this huge, massive downtrending wedge here. RSI seems to be pointing higher. You know, I mean, but we had a false breakout here. And I remember Cy from the group, shout out to him yesterday, said, you remembered, you did a great job remembering. Well, a false breakout typically leads to breakdown. And, you know, that's the scenario that we have here. We keep trying to break out of this level and got rejected again. So that's, you know, it's up in the air on this one as well. I mean, you would you agree?
Yeah. It's not moving. So
not at all.
Not going up,
so frustrating. You know, there's just not enough behind it for these breakouts to have occurred. This 110 level is, in my opinion, very important. So because if we go back, this is the low altogether, that move, and we got rejected, you know, from breaking down further, and we made a move above it. So to me, this shows how significant this 110 level is. I think the chance is high that, you know, this is going on a lot in this market now, unfortunately. Do you know what I'm going to say?
Stop moving.
That we're gonna move sideways until we re-challenge this trend line, and then it's going to be which is exactly what's been happening on gold. We'll segue on over to gold on that one. Doing good on the segues today.
Yeah.
So here's our gold scenario. Still bullish for sure. Because this was the massive epic breakout point. And we go to weekly. And so this, it looks like a consolidation pattern. And this 1460 level seems to be holding pretty strong. So the question is, do we just continue to move sideways? And I have this trend line here because this was the original breakout that happened, I guess, 2 weeks now, 2.5 weeks ago. And then we try to break out again, and false breakout usually leads to breakdown, which is where we are now. So the question is this the leg of it? I mean, that's a huge move right there. 1509 to 1515 to 14, all the way at the bottom there was 1450, right? So that's almost a $70 move in gold in a couple weeks. So that's some pretty big bearish action, especially if you look at the scale of, say, these moves, because I remember very clearly when this was happening, and we have, look at that step down, right? I mean, does that look like history repeating itself or not? It looks pretty similar to me. And we had how big is this? 14 or 1340 to 1280, which is a $60 move, right? And then we have a 1315 to 12, I would say it's 70, 1280. 1320 to 1280. We'll just say that's a $60 move. So for us to have moved, let's see, I don't know where that was, but for us to have moved on this deal right here, like we're stepping down, we might get one more flush to the downside, which would be smaller here, which would target the bottom of this wedge, which would come in about 1430 is the number I hear a lot of people throwing around, 1434. But at the same time, if we look at this kind of descending wedge, descending triangle, whatever you want to call it here, it looks pretty similar. We didn't necessarily get a flush all the way down to the bottom before a move up. So I think that those are the two scenarios, that we get a flush to the bottom, which is the very, top of this breakout point, or we move sideways, just like I said, in Euro USD, and start to re-challenge this downtrend line again. And, hopefully break out above it, and that this level right here seems to hold, because, I mean, every time we get close to there, buyers are coming in the market, and that's what's going on. Anything you'd like to add on gold?
No. Yeah, I mean, you've got those two scenarios, and then and the dips are getting bought up, and then that at the bottom at 1434. If we you're going to see some action on here, I think. If it does pull down this high, you definitely get some heavy buying, I think, down all the way down there. That'll look that'll be quite aggressive as well. And then maybe that's your catalyst to just rocket.
Yeah, and a big one to watch is if dollar yen just breaks down, starts to break down, and this resistance level holds, and we break down from here, you can expect gold to pretty much rally from that point, and that's going to be
absolutely.
a big,
and
big
if you
booster.
link it to the yields, to yields as well.
But what the best trade I see off the bat here is dollar Swiss. So there's a couple ways of looking at it. There's two ways. So on the daily chart, it looks like we challenged and at this level of resistance. On the 4-hour though, which would be an awesome short. I'm gonna wait a little bit, I think, to see what, because on the 4-hour, we kind of broken above it and retesting it. What do you think?
Yeah, it's looking. I mean, that's a lovely little short, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
it
lovely
is.
little short, and you've got nice risk reward on that as well.
It does.
So
if we're just looking at it on daily time frame, and you know what, we can just go from this last high.
Yeah.
To about the same level. Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
This is the even closer fractal.
And your sort of risk to reward is quite good there as well.
Risk to reward's
yeah,
excellent.
So excellent on that.
What we mean by that for anybody that's a beginner is that, have a stop in place above these highs and take profit. I would just put at these last lows right here.
Yeah.
And that means you're risking this much to make this much.
It's really good.
And so I think that's an excellent trade. That was Robbie from the group that pointed that out to me yesterday, man. So great call. I was looking through the charts today, and this is the short that really sticks out. The one that has the most, I don't know if certainty is the right word, but has the best odds.
Yeah.
So I really like that. Shout out to you, buddy. Good job. And last but not least, you want to go over
the USD knock.
Yes, Yasser likes USD knock, and pull up the chart here.
Yeah, so that's looking. It's coming on there. So I've got so I want to enter. So this is, you can see the wicks here, and that's where you see your profit takings happening. And then my first entry somewhere around here. What does that come out to? About 9.16, isn't it? Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So
the bottom of the last bottom.
Yeah.
Bodies.
Yeah, just around there. So my first
9.17.
9.17 around there has been a first entry, and and my stops would be somewhere above here. And that makes it about 9.2. But that's a pretty big one. I'd really like somewhere, if it was able to push 9.17 to get a nice entry. And then I'd have a second entry somewhere closer to here, which works out to, where is that? That amount here, what's that there? 9.14. I'd add a second entry, and then the first trade to break even.
So would you look for it to retest this trend line?
I don't think it's going to go up that high.
Yeah.
I don't think. That's why I've already made an entry with all that profit taking area.
Right.
Because
people are taking profits.
Yeah. So the thing is that initially I got that 9.2 entry during the week.
Yeah.
That was almost bang on.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'll be lucky twice to
get something. Well, I don't know, man.
And if it does, I'll have a second entry all the way up there. But I've entered in that sort of zone there between the two horizontals.
Yeah.
Not the diagonal.
So in other words, you liked this zone, this little nexus right here.
Yeah, that was it, and thing. So I've already got an entry, and I'd like a second one as well. And if it does close below this second diagonal, I'd have a second entry. My first take profit will be around 9.0 here,
right.
And second take profit will be somewhere around here.
That would be a hell of a trade.
But eventually, I think it's even going lower.
Yasser pointed out the potential head and shoulder formation here. So shoulder, head, if we get a drop here, then that would carve out this right shoulder, and then maybe a retest of this trend line, and then lower.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'll have a third entry when it breaks the neckline. Add a third entry there as well. So just sort of stack on the trades on it,
Yeah. So you would look. Oh shit. You'd look for something like that.
And ideally, yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Yeah, going lower.
Or maybe even like a
Yeah, it could even be that, yeah. And then get your second entry, third entry, and that's it. If we get a second entry, that will be that closer. But you know, yeah, that looks
That
all right.
that looks pretty solid.
Yeah, that looks solid there.
So yeah, market's open in 5 minutes. I'm gonna load this video, put it on YouTube, and thanks for watching, everybody. Let's have an amazing week. Thanks to everybody in the UK that's been chilling, man. It's been an awesome adventure, and I'll be back in the States on Tuesday. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody stateside, and let's have a awesome week. Appreciate the support. Let's get it. All right, everybody. Peace.